Today will be one of your favorite categories in which we will repeat street food from all over the world. I have prepared a lot of interesting things for you today. Let's go. The first one for today is Mexican-style corn. Boiled corn is impaled on a stick, smeared with special mayonnaise, and then rolled all in cheese, sprinkled with red pepper and sometimes also black, and added some hot sauce. It turns out that's such an unusual spicy corn. Let's repeat all of this together. We clean the ears of corn, and throw them into the water. We put all this on the stove and cook it under the lid on medium heat for 2 hours. In the meantime, we take a jar of olives, open it, and take out the olives. We crush them with a knife so that they do not roll away, and cut them very, very finely. We dump all of this into the bowl, open up some mayonnaise, and pour it on top. Cut off a little bit of cilantro, crush it with your hand, and cut it very finely. And throw that in with the mayonnaise. Top this with dry garlic, salt, and mix. We bought some ready-made grated cheese. Pour this onto a flat plate. The corn is already cooked, therefore we take one head and stick it on the stick for the sushi. Done. First, lubricate it with soft butter. And a little bit of salt. Then lubricate it with our mayonnaise olive sauce. And roll it in cheese. And sprinkle with hot red pepper on top. Let's try it. It's incredibly delicious. Spicy corn with a slight taste of olives, mayonnaise, and cilantro. And of course the cheese. Just the perfect combination. While the season is on, we be sure to cook corn in this way. The next one is a restaurant in Bangkok that serves just these mega sweet bombs. This is a vase filled with a bunch of different fillings. There's ice cream, whipped cream, and waffles. In general, it's just delicious. Here's a dessert we decided to recreate. After going to around 10 pet stores, we found a huge aquarium glass, twice as large as that in the restaurant. We have one for 18 liters. Probably the bottom 2 layers are jelly, so let's start with them. We need 4 liters of milk. We open up the bottles and pour the milk into a saucepan. We put it on the stove and pour in some sugar. For it to set, we will not use gelatin, but agar-agar. It's better than because the jelly it freezes even at room temperature. We open it up and pour out 8 10-gram packets. Also add a little bit of pink dye and mix it up. The milk should boil for about 2 minutes, and all the agar-agar will dissolve in it. We remove all this from the flame, and to make it faster, let's cool this with a mixer. That's it, you can fill the first layer. To do this, we put in a huge funnel and fill it. We put the glass in the refrigerator so that the jelly sets faster. The second layer of jelly will be done with pomegranate juice. We open up one package, and we put a little bit more than half into the bowl. Put it on the stove, and pour agar-agar in. We poured a little bit more than the normal written on the package so that everything thickens up really, really well. And into this thick mass, we pour the remaining 1.5 bottles of juice and mix. We take out the glass from the refrigerator, and it becomes clear that we had done something wrong. Our jelly is not set. Therefore, we put it back into the pan, and the pomegranate jelly will be the first layer. We just boiled the milk again so that all the agar-agar completely dissolves, and we poured it on top. After 5 hours, everything froze up perfectly. The next thing we'll need is some ice cream. To do this, take a large bowl, heavy cream, 3 liters, and 2 bottles of condensed milk. We open up the cream, Pour 400 milliliters into a bowl and start whipping. As soon as the first portion thickens, add some more. To make it faster, we put another mixer to beat the cream. When the cream is whipped, open up some condensed milk and pour it on top. We need this to keep it sweet. Open up some raspberries and pour the whole pack into the bowl. Chop the raspberries with an immersion blender. And we send all this into the cream. Stir it again. And our ice cream is almost ready. It just now needs to freeze. We will do this in a really large container. We put our future ice cream into it. Cover it with the lid. And put it in the freezer to let it freeze. We take 3 eggs and break them into a bowl. We top this with sugar, 150 grams of butter, a teaspoon of baking powder, and this vanilla extract. Mix it with a mixer. Now you just need to remake some flour. Mix again, and then we get the dough for waffles. We send all this onto the waffle iron. Cover. And after 1.5 minutes, you can open it up. The waffles should be ready. Whipped cream is served on top for dessert. The shopkeepers would have settled right away, therefore we will whip them ourselves. We have 3 liters of 36% cream. Pour the parts into the mixer, which whips itself. It will do this more evenly than we do, holding the mixer in its hands. Add some powdered sugar and turn it on. Just a minute later, shake out the thick whipped cream into a large bowl. And so we whisk all the remaining ones. Into this thick mass, all we have to do is introduce 400 grams of soft butter. Done. Immediately transfer our whipped cream to the cooking bag. We continue to assemble our mega sweet bomb, but we need some strawberries. Tear out the stem and use a knife to halve them. We put the strawberry halves from on the inside of the glass, and we do this until we have a big circle. In the original dessert, there's some kind of bread pulp inside. I decided to replace this with marshmallow. We open them up and sit them out. We level this all with our hand. The ice cream is already frozen. Therefore, with the help of a special scooper, we make scoops. And dop them on top of the marshmallows. Now for the waffles. We prop them up from the inside. I also bought some Mars bars and Snickers bars. We cut them all in half and spread them between the waffles. We continue to build our ice cream tower. Now you just need to fill everything with whipped cream. We also take these candy pencils and put 3 bundles on top. And then 4 strawberries. That's it, finally our mega dessert is ready. I don't know how they collect everything so quickly in that restaurant. We've been messing with this dessert for 2 days. In my opinion, it turned out very beautifully. And now we taste. First, it's very sweet, and it's designed for 10 people, because there are just a lot of calories here. On the 3rd day, we got to the jelly, and it's just really delicious. Let's move on to the latest type of street food for today. In Ukraine, they came up with the idea of serving soups not as usual in a plate, but in just like a glass of dough. In principle, the soup can be anything you want. The main thing is how it is served. With the dough, you can not steam up, but take the usual puff pastry from the store. From this dough, we roll up a ball, and in the original, they make bread glasses using a press. we tried to do something similar. First, we spray oil first on the blender bowl, as well as on the wine bottle, to use it as a press. We throw the bottle of dough and press on top of the bottle of wine, and nothing happens. It only turned out when I distributed the dough on the walls of an ordinary mug and pressed it down with a regular glass. We turn up the edges and send this all into the oven for 25 minutes, after which you can get our glass out of the dough. Of course, it didn't turn out as smooth as in the original, and it looks more like a flower from above. Now let's make a creamy soup with seafood. First, cut carrot into slices, and then into strips. Cut an onion in half and into semicircles. A celery into strips and small cubes. And do the same thing with a red bell pepper. We put the frying pan on the stove and add some olive oil. Put in all of the vegetables to the frying pan, just to lighten them up a little bit. Now we'll throw in a lot of seafood, and we warm them up. Now we need some white wine. Open it up, and pour it from above. Using temperature, the alcohol will evaporate. So we wait a couple of minutes and pour in some cream. Stir this all up, and you can turn it off. In a saucepan, we throw a chicken cube like this, and fill it with water. Bring to a boil to make a broth. After that, we pour it all into the contents of the frying pan, and the soup is almost ready. Add some oregano and salt. We fill our glass with a ready-made soup. And in general, it's pretty convenient. You can eat the soup right out on the go. Break off the edges of the glass and eat them instead of bread. And if you would like me to continue making videos like these, then give us the thumbs up. If we get 320,000 likes, we'll make a new video. Also write in the comments how much money it would take for you to eat this huge dessert. Bye everybody!